Well, the top prosecutor in Illinois is trying to turn the page from a dark period in Chicago police history. It's believed that one bad cop preyed on innocent residents of a housing project, rounding up dozens of people on bogus charges. And now efforts are underway to exonerate them. Dean Reynolds has that story.
An empty lot now marks the spot of one of the worst Chicago police scandals in history. Once the Ida B. Wells housing project, it was where a group of corrupt Chicago cops preyed almost risk-free on residents for most of a decade. Sergeant Ronald Watts was the ringleader. Residents accused him and his squad of extortion, filing false police reports, planting evidence, and assault.
If you didn't cooperate with him, you was going down. You was against him. You was against his operation and his way of getting money.
I was terrified. I was trying to get away, get out that neighborhood. I had nowhere to go.
Willie Martin and Cleon Glover are two of 42 wrongly convicted people exonerated so far by state's attorney Kim Foxx.
We have to admit when things have gone wrong and actively work to fix it.
Lawyers from Fox's Conviction Integrity Unit are reviewing 30 to 40 additional cases connected to Watts.
Did the people in the neighborhood, did they complain about this?
Yeah, everybody spoke up. A lot of people spoke up.
He's a sergeant with a badge. He has his own gang, so who would believe us?
Joshua Tepfer of the University of Chicago's Exoneration Project says the answer until recently was no one.
And they let it go on because they viewed these people as disposable, and they didn't care. These are black people in the housing projects who, in their minds, were guilty of something anyway.
Probably guilty of something.
Sergeant Watts was sentenced to 22 months for trying to steal from an FBI informant.
Anybody that knows Watts, he's not reading you your rights.
And Martez Wise went to prison too because of Watts.
During that time, I just had my son. I was away from him for 4 years. He barely even knew who I was because he was just born. So I had to rebond with him.
4 years taken away for nothing. For CBS This Morning Saturday, Dean Reynolds, Chicago.
42 wrongful convictions.
42.
And there may be another 30 or 40 more.
And there are bad cops in, departments across the country. I've covered them in Brooklyn, in D.C., in New Orleans. And it's the bad cops that give good cops a bad name.
Right.
And the idea that your voice doesn't count, that's the problem too, that these people had a voice but was completely discounted.
Yeah, some very good work being done by Chicago's Exoneration Project and what's going on there.